All right, you're welcome back to the show. It's still good in Anambra show right here on ABS TV. This morning, we're going to be looking at the topic Public Complaints Commission ensuring the rights of Nigerians. And we have with us as a guest in the studio this morning, Lolo Emelda Nwajiofo Okoli, JP, Federal Commissioner, Public Complaint Commission, Anambra State. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
And we also have Mr. Charles Ekunife, the State Director, Public Complaints Commission, Anambra State. Good to have you.
Thank you so much.
All right, quickly, public complaints. Now, if you ask me, it's just a commission that is the machinery for the control of administrative excesses. But then, I will leave the major, for our people to know the major function of this commission to you as the commissioner, right? Yes, of that commission, the federal commission of that commission. Now, would you like to tell us the primary function of the Public Complaints Commission in Nigeria?
Thank you very much. The commission was established by the Enabling Act 315 of the Nigerian Constitution, 1975. Known as the Public Complaint Commission, cap 37 of the 2004 of the Nigerian Constitution. Then the commission was address the administrative injustice, public and private offices, the private establishments, and for those who do not have the to seek redress for administrative and social injustice. And it was established in Anambra State in 1993. And since then, it has been in operation. But it's true that a lot of people do not know about our existence and what we do. But we have handled a whole lot of cases, and there are people who know about us, who come to us to seek redress, and a lot of cases have been resolved through our commission.
Okay, thank you so much for that apt explanation. Let's come to you, Mr. Charles. Now, just like she said, that a whole lot of people, they don't even know about your existence and all that. Now, since the inauguration of this commission in Anambra State in the year 1993, how has the activities been in Anambra State, and what effort have you put in place? Of course, because people have to know that you actually exist. And let's talk about what you have done so far.
Okay, essentially, like the Ombudsman herself rightly pointed out, the commission, so to say, has been of age. You know, the commission was established in 1975 by Decree number 31, amended by Decree number 21 of 1979. And in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, the Commission is enshrined in Section 315, subsection 5B of the Constitution. In the states, like my boss rightly pointed out, the Commission has been in existence since 1993, following the creation of Anambra State in 1991. And since then, we've been delivering service to the Anambra, you know, and just this year alone, I can rightly say that the Commission has been able to resolve successfully 671 cases out of the cases we have received in the year, from January to October 2022. So the Commission is really doing very well in Anambra State. Thank God for the support that we have received in the past from the past administration in the state. The former governor of Anambra State, Mr. Peter Obi, graciously donated a parcel of land to the commission. That's why you can find our office in a very strategic position, just adjacent to Government House, and he also donated a vehicle, a bus to the commission. And since then, the commission has been delivering its services, and on the mandate, of the commission, we've been serving the people of Anambra State. Yeah.
Okay, we want to know, Lolo, the nature of the cases that the complaints that always come to your office now, and how you actually tackle those kind of cases. I mean, because we have commissions like EFCC, ICPC, so do you work like them, or do you have a spectacular way of handling issues or complaints that are brought to your office?
Thank you. We handle administrative cases, like some people get dismissed from office unjustly, and when they want to seek redress through us, and we invite both parties and get the matter resolved amicably. Some whose retirement benefits are not paid, or we also intervene and get it resolved, their dues paid, and both of them go home happy. We don't handle criminal cases. We handle administrative cases, social cases, and when criminal cases come to us, we refer it to the police for prosecution, and that way we have been able to touch a lot of lives. Some people have benefited from, and we don't charge. It's a free services. We don't charge anything. Yes.
I wanted to ask
Yes. We don't charge any fee. We don't charge a dime. It's free. Our services are free, and we are in almost all the local governments. We are in all the local governments across the state. And anybody, but some people, maybe because of communication, maybe lack of communication, they are not able to know about us. But those who know about us, they come to us and they get their cases or their issues resolved amicably.
Okay, so what happens to a situation whereby someone came and reported his or her organization as maltreating the person as a staff? I'm not talking about government-owned organization. Let's look at the private sector. And you waded into the matter, and the organization refuses to probably, change their attitude towards the staff. What happens then?
Well, under the Public Complaints Commission Act, the complainant is protected under the Act. This is Nigeria, and we're all guided by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So if there's safety, we have protection for these complainants, that come to the commission, because the respondent, so to say, or the employers, of labor, they are under, they are being, how do I put it? They are being under obligation. They have been under obligation to obey the rulings of the commission. Anytime such rulings are given by the commission, or they arise.
So the complaints, how do you receive them? Do people just walk into your office, or do you have boxes that you keep at strategic places for people to, maybe write and put in their complaint, or do you have a number that people can reach out to? How do you get these complaints from people?
Yeah, there are so many avenues through which these complaints can come in. They can send in through emails. We have we have some social media handles through which they can send in their complaints. We have Twitter, we have Instagram, we have Facebook, WhatsApp. All these social media handles. These complaints can come in through any of them. Then they can also walk into the office to submit these complaints. And yeah.
Okay, you want to add something to that?
Yes, and we have recently the e-complaint
Platform.
have been established where people can make their complaints online, and they can make their complaints online and it will still get to us. And where we also have this sensitization units where people go to different locations. As I'm speaking to you today, our staff at Ekoka. They are going to Ekoka today to make to sensitize the people. So then we have our boxes too, located in strategic positions, like at the secretariat, the head of service office. We have a complaint box there. We are still making arrangements to put them in other strategic locations like government, teaching hospitals, schools, markets, where people can easily drop their complaints. Then, like the director have rightly said, the email, all the social media outlets where they can also send their complaints.
Okay, so now we've talked about a city like here in Oka. What happens to people in the rural communities? Because at least we have local governments there and people that work there. We still have some companies there. So people, the truth is that some people there, they don't even know. Some don't even know their rights. Some that do know their rights, they don't even know where to lay the appropriate complaint when their rights are being trampled on. So do you have any measures put in place to see that you go into these hinterlands, rural communities, and create the needed awareness concerning this commission and how they can, lay their complaint?
Yes, we do. The commission places priority on being accessible, especially to those in the hinterlands. That's why, in the wisdom of the ombudsman and the state, she set up awareness and sensitization units. This group of young men go into this hinterlands, to inform the people about the existence of the Public Complaints Commission. In addition to that, we have, like she said earlier, we have area offices located in almost a two-thirds of the 21 local government area in the state, and in these area offices we have very experienced, very senior officers posted to these area offices. They man the affairs of the commission in these areas. They interact with the people, the local people. They conduct sensitization and awareness in churches. They go to villages to talk to people about their rights. And in doing this, the commission really places priority on being accessible to the people. Yeah.
Okay. Now, Lola, would you tell us what have been the most challenging part of your duties? Carrying out your responsibilities, getting this complaint and seeing how you can resolve issues between employers and employees.
Well, one of the most daunting challenges have been responding to our letters, to our correspondences with especially the government agencies, establishments. Sometimes maybe because of huge because they are maybe very busy. I don't know, or we have not really had that quick response to our cases, because sometimes we write to government establishments, maybe because of bureaucracy, our letters are not quickly giving urgent response as demanded, as the situation demands. So it's a very big challenge to us. Then we have not really, maybe because of successive governments, when a new government comes in, we have to also get ourselves acquainted with them so that we synergize. And funding has been a very big issue. It limits our communication with the hinterland, the rural communities, the people that we're supposed to reach. That's why we are making effort to make sure that we reach out to those people. The real people that need us are the people in the rural communities who do not have what it takes to pursue their cases. So we are making effort to see that we reach out to them. But this funding, I want to use this opportunity to ask the federal government to look into our budget, because it does not really match with the challenges of delivering the justice to the people, the service that the people really need from us.
Okay, don't you have any plans to actually, I know this is a government-owned establishment, but to go out to meet some stakeholders, of course, people that like justice, people that stand by truth and at all times, to, partner with them to see if they can, in their own little way, sponsor or fund some of these things we are talking about?
It depends on them. We reach out to them. We are trying, we are doing that. So, trying to reach out to the philanthropists, those that it touches. There are people who want to see that things are working out well in the state. So we'll try to reach out to them. Some respond, some don't respond. So, but in most cases, we don't get that positive response that we need from them. But we'll pray, and even as we are talking, all the good people of Anambra who are privileged to come to our aid so that we can be able to deliver justice to the people.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. Let's come over to you, Mr. Charles. Now, talking about, when we look at our judicial system, we always see the delay in, dispensation of justice, right? Now, as a commission, how long does it take you to actually, deliver justice? That's if a complainant comes or you get a case to handle, how long does it take you to, handle such case? Yes, and give the person the desired result?
Well, it depends on the subject matter of the complaint. Some of these complaints are complicated, to the extent that you need to write to the parties involved to send in their responses, but it is expected that once a complaint comes in, within a week, we have written letters to the respondents to respond accordingly, and when the respondent does not respond immediately, we issue a reminder, and if again the respondent does not respond immediately, the Act empowers the Honorable Commissioner to issue a summons to make sure that the person responds. So basically, it takes a period of between a month and 3 months, depending on the subject matter of the matter. If it's not that complicated, sometimes we handle cases within 2 days. Some cases within hours of receipt. Just a phone call, to the respondent. Then again, depending on the respondent, sometimes we have some recalcitrant respondents. That is where the unit, our enforcement and a group of lawyers, that that. Yeah.
All right. We'll continue with our discussion. Today concerning human rights. Let's
Public Complaints Commission, very viable agency of the federal government, though their effects are not felt in the grassroots. The stakeholders in the communities and those people to solve those problems that will be coming up to the state or federal levels or other agencies of government that tackles maybe where they
Commission is not well known around the states. They need to collaborate with orientation agencies so that people will know about their presence in the states, so that people who have issues can come and complain to them. For now, in the state, I don't think many people know about the Public Complaints Commission. And for them to work effectively, the government should help by ensuring that people who know this job come into play, by employing people who know this job so that they can give optimal service to the public when they come to complain. You can complain to them, they won't give you the result because some of them are just repeated based on one or two things. That is not the main issue. The main issue is that people who come to complain need to get things resolved. So in terms of recruitment, they should bring in people who know this job and try to enlighten the public through the National Orientation Agency about the Public Complaints Commission in the state.
It is a wonderful thing for the Public Commission to sit and be able to listen to common people, not actually leaders. There are leaders that will not be able to tell you what people are feeling, but just random selection of people, getting them to say, what do you feel about this road? What do you feel about electricity not being there for you every time? What do you feel about you not having water? What do you feel about the security? And then you can have some complaints that when you put these complaints together, find solutions. In fact, to begin with any design, you have to locate the problems first. So public complaint helps us to design solutions for tomorrow.
the commission as a statutory body have laws that is mandating them and the authority to help the underprivileged, under-maltreated people in society to be able to get justice and be compensated based on being maybe a victim of one thing or the other. So I think personally I'm not seeing their actions, in helping the downtrodden people in society. I know the commission is there, but the thing is that how effective they are in helping the downtrodden people get deserved justice. I think they should improve increasing them in budgetary by the government, so that we're able to be more effective and efficient. By, for instance, employing more counsels, lawyers, in various areas of matters.
All right, you're welcome back to the show. Of course, we've heard people's contributions out there in the street talking about the right of Nigerians. Of course, it seems a whole lot of people know their rights, but it's about implementation when these rights are violated or being trampled upon, maybe by the employers or the people. Even in the banking sector, because I saw that you also work with those people that their rights have been trampled upon as in the banking sector. Okay, now let's talk about human rights generally. In Nigeria, it is basically where a Nigerian has a right not to, his or her own right not be violated. And that's the reason why this particular commission is being established, to make sure that people's rights are not violated or trampled upon. Now, especially now, you mentioned how many cases you've tackled this year, about 1,600, yes, cases that you've tackled this year. Now, I want to know the reason why we have upsurge in this violation of human rights in Nigeria.
How do I explain that? Upsurge in violation of human rights. I don't know how to explain that. However, I think what we find ourselves in, the society is so corrupt to the extent that everybody does whatever he or she likes, and gets away with it. So I want to appeal to the relevant authorities, to see that the rights of citizens are protected, and people who trample upon the people's rights are punished, with the relevant laws established in the country. So that's
okay. All right. Quickly, Lola, how many the bodies that you work with to make your job easier for you? Now, I'm talking about the security agencies that you work with to make your job easier for you. How has the relationship between you and these people been so far?
Okay, we work with all the relevant security agencies. We work with the police, we work with the DSS, we work with the civil defense, we work with all of them. When we like our enforcement unit, we work with the police. We work with the police. There are police officers assigned to us to go with us when we want to enforce our resolutions. And before, unlike before, there was nothing that we didn't have the enforcement powers, but now we have the powers to enforce our resolutions. So we're talking about the surge in violation of rights. I think most people do things with impunity, especially when they see that somebody has gotten away with such acts. They feel that they can also do it and get away with it. Like some young girls are employed in hotels as attendants, and some of them get fired at will by their employers, and some even want to exploit them. We have a lot of cases like that. And when such girls, sometimes they wouldn't know where to go, they wouldn't know what to do, but thank God for our services and the sensitization and awareness unit which have been put in place. But I implore the people of Anambra, I want to beg Anambrarians to exploit that services that is available to them, that we render free services. We don't ask for money, we don't ask for anything. We are funded by the government. So nobody charges anybody anything. Resolved. As many cases that come to us.
So what about cases that you need to employ the services of a lawyer? Are you going to fund in yourself?
We have legal units.
Okay.
We have our legal unit. We have our lawyers. We have our state council. we have the legal department that if it's whatever advices we get there, we have our lawyers that direct us the way we should go.
Okay, now the duty you owe the public or Nigerians is to protect their right. Now, what are the duties of Nigerians to your commission?
Duties of Nigerians to the commission?
Yes.
We need, anyway, we expect Nigerians to help in dissemination of information about the existence of the commission and to also report cases of violation of human rights to the commission. That's what I think essentially we require from them.
And again, for the government to help us, like we'll talk about the land that was allocated to us where we were able to erect our permanent site, talk about the vehicle that was assigned to, donated to the commission. If we have the philanthropists and the government to support us, I think we'll go a long way. We'll go a long way in delivering services. We still need land. We still need, we embark on activities. We need vehicles. We need even the public address system that we use to talk to people, the boxes, all these things. If we have enough, we don't have enough. If we have enough, I talked about funding. If we have enough, the services are rendered to Anambrarians in the Anambra. So if the government help us in providing those things we need to disseminate the information to the people, to get the people to be aware of our services, I think we will be the better for it. The people will be the better for it.
All right. In the course of dispensing justice, have you ever had a situation whereby someone raised the false alarm, against an employer or against his or her right being trampled upon, maybe right to personal liberty or, the fundamentals human rights we have in Nigeria? Have you had any case like that, and how did you handle that?
Of course.
Because some people can be mischievous.
Yeah, it's
sometimes.
true. In the past, we've received cases like that, But Section 8 of the PCC Act talks about offenses and penalties. Giving a false information against your employer is an offense. And if you're found guilty, there's a penalty for that. So situations, that is why the Commission does in-depth investigation of, we don't just rely on complaints by complainants. When these complaints come, we go deep into it, we swing into action, by investigating them and making sure that the allegations raised therein are real. That's the essence of the Public Complaints Commission. We do in-depth investigation of complaints. The complainants are not always right.
Of course.
They're not always right. So that's why we are here.
It's one thing to know your right, and it's another thing to complain.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Tell us your name and your location.
Hello, good morning. Chidemma.
Your name and your location.
My name is Mbono Joseph Samuel.
All right.
Good morning, Honorable Commissioner, Public Complaints Commission.
God bless you.
Good morning, the Director of Public Complaints Commission.
Good morning.
I appreciate you as well. I'm actually trapped somewhere watching this program when I heard that Public Complaints Commission is online to ensure the rights of Nigerians. And one of the victims whom they have resolved their problem. My appreciation only is for the public to be aware that Public Complaints Commission is actually doing their job. I remember when I brought my pension issue with them, it was just resolved within not up to 3 days, and the problem was resolved. I also refer some of my friends as regards to tenants and landlord issue
Okay.
was also resolved. I think the people, not just Anambrians, Nigerians as a whole, should know that Public Complaints Commission is existing. Likewise, you cheat them or my case in one issue. I will know where it is when we should not be. Public Complaints Commission, like they said, is administrative injustice.
Thank you so much for your advice.
Really, is that they intercede on people's problem, not just human rights. The human rights, when you are lacking it, the Public Complaints Commission will now come in to enforce and make sure that those things are being done properly the way it should be. While I'm still sitting somewhere watching this your program, I admire you a lot. Keep moving the way you are moving.
All right.
Public Complaints Commission, you people are fine. Keep moving as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. That's a very good testimonial coming from someone you've helped so far, because he said that he has come to, complain about his pension being withheld, and you acted promptly, and he's now enjoying and advising people to know that you are really walking the talk.
Yeah.
Not just here saying that you do this and you do that.
I remember the caller.
Okay. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Yeah, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Your name and your location.
Good morning. George, just from Aguirre.
Go ahead, George.
Okay. Why on this question, this public complaint commission, they have been the offices at the local government level.
Okay. That's just your question?
It's what I want to know.
All right. Thank you so much. So you have the question. So respond.
Okay, like I said during the interview session, that the commission places high priority on being accessible, to the people, or being assessed by the people. One, we have 8 existing active area offices across the state. First, we have in Aguata Local Government Area Secretariat. We have at Newi, in the Newi North Local Government Area Secretariat. We have at Ukbo, Newi South. We have at Nteje, Oyi Local Government Secretariat. We have at Onisha North. We have at Ogidi, Idemili North. We have at Ojoto, Idemili South. These are just about the 8. And we also have plans of establishing more, but just like my Honorable Commissioner, the Ombudsman, rightly pointed out, that the major problem we're having is funding. But in the local governments where we don't have area offices, we have our complaint boxes strategically located so that anyone can just drop the complaint. We visit there every other week, to pick these complaints and do justice to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to add something to that?
In addition, even the local governments where our offices are established, those areas where our offices are not established, the staff also cover those areas.
Okay. Your staff?
Yes,
Yeah,
our staff,
Okay,
the area
area
officers,
officers, okay.
they also cover those areas. But the major problem is funding.
Funding.
That's the long and short of it. We have a lot of issues with going out, reaching out to the people, the day-to-day running of the area offices, and getting people to be aware of it.
All right. Well said. Funding, you said that over and over again. So that we are now saying that it's a major challenge to the Commission, and we are calling on the government and also philanthropists, well-meaning Nigerians who can be of help and who likes justice and where truths are being told all the time, to be of help financially to this Commission to enable you to carry out your responsibilities very well. All right. Just before we go, Director.
Yes,
a word of advice to the Anambra people or Nigerians that are actually watching us this morning on ABS TV?
My advice is that advise Nigerians, Anambrarians in particular, not to take laws into their hands. Anytime they feel aggrieved, the Public Complaints Commission is ever ready to assist them in making sure that their grievances are resolved. Free of charge.
Free of charge.
Free of charge. Very important.
So in case anybody comes and tell them to bring money, that
No, nobody. It's free of charge.
Okay.
It's free of charge. Yeah.
All right. Even as you go, and then how often do you go to this local governments now to pick up where you have boxes to pick up these complaints?
Every week. I said it. Okay.
I want to beg the well-meaning people of Anambra. Anambra is one of the richest states in Nigeria. In terms of individuals, we have more individuals that are rich in Anambra than almost any other state in Nigeria. I want to beg them they can donate, even if it is bus, or we are not even asking for funds. Let them donate those things that we need. Public address, buses, the boxes that we need, a lot of things that we need. And even if even in some local governments, while we are not in some of the local governments, we need, in the office, we need office equipment, the things we need, the office equipment that the staff will use. So a local government can be ready to give us a place, but we will not have the office equipments for them to operate. So such things also.
Because you don't collect money, you don't charge money, so you don't generate funds.
No, we don't generate funds. Yeah, but I will. My commissioner has just talked about, or rather requested Anambrans to come to our aid. Let me also use the opportunity to also commend a few of them who have actually identified with us in the past. In fact, sometime last 2 years, I recall that Honorable Chris Azubog donated a motorcycle to the commission to ease the transportation problem we had in the office. Also, Dr. Obioro Konko also donated a motorcycle to the commission. So it's very important that I also mention these names, and also thank in a very special way the former governor of Anambra State, who has been assisting the commission. I said he allocated the land upon which we built our permanent headquarters in Oka. Mr. P2B, he donated a bus to the commission, and he's been assisting us, And I want to also appeal on the same line to our indefatigable governor of Anambra State, Mr. Governor, Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo, to come to our aid. He's a listening governor, and we're actually trying to establish a working relationship with the state government. So I wish to appeal to him to come to our aid, because the people we serve are Nambrarians, so that's my prayers.
All right, well, then I want to say a very big thank you to you, Lolo Emelda Nwajiofo Okoli, for joining us this morning on the show.
Thank you very much.
And also Mr. Charles Ekunfe, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having us. Thank you so much.
Oh, that's it on the show this morning. Thank you so much for being part of the show. My name is Chief Dunma Orangwa. Enjoy your weekend. Bye.